Howdy ladies and gents, and welcome to another edition of VGU Talks, where we have a chat about what's happening in the world of games. I'm Don the Expert Calls from VideoGamesUncovered.com, and it's E3 week, which can only mean one thing: a ton of games, a ton of fun, and a ton of conferences, and a ton of game releases, and my wallet bleeding dry after all the pre-orders I'm probably going to put down after this week. So, in this video I'm going to be going over my personal highlights of E3 and the mark-out moments from my experiences. So, let's get down to it. First things first, let's cover the conferences. All the conferences were pretty darn good, as in the games that were revealed wise. I surely think that there were two conferences that outdid the others, but I'll get to those in just a bit. We'll go through them in order. Starting off with Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft, you did it. That whole 180 from last year, nailed it. Good on you. But you didn't make me want to get an Xbox One. Don't get me wrong. Those exclusives you have, those day one DLCs or exclusive DLCs that you have for those games that you showed off, as well as some of the other indie titles that you're getting, they're pretty friggin' darn awesome. And you know that game Scalebound from Platinum? Although I was very annoyed that it was just a CG trailer and didn't have any gameplay footage in it whatsoever, which I thought was a big letdown, I'm interested in that. But it's not interesting enough to get an Xbox One. And I'm probably going to get a lot of flack from people saying, but if you get an Xbox One, you can get the Master Chief Collection. Okay, don't get me wrong, Master Chief Collection, good idea because we're racking the cash. Bad idea for me because I'm sick of Halo at this point. I'm not looking forward to Halo 5. I am not pumped to play any of the remastered Halos in the Master Chief Collection. I'm just not hyped for Halo anymore. My Halo hype is dead, gone, buried, along with Gears of War. It's out there and it's done. Okay, that's it. And that's just it from the Microsoft side. I really enjoyed the show from Microsoft. It was just a shame that it didn't really win me over and it didn't make me regret not having an Xbox One. It's just my own personal opinion, but there you go. It just didn't convince me. Then we had EA's conference, where although it wasn't full of sports, you still had your sports games, because you had to. One of EA's massive sales points is that they do all these sports games. So they showed off NHL, Madden, FIFA, and you know what? The people that play those games, yeah, you're going to be really, really psyched. And I'm happy for you. I didn't get as hyped behind them, but you probably would get uber hyped. So go for it and let me know what you think in the comments. But you know what? EA did one thing. And I'll give EA this. EA convinced me that Sims 4, probably going to put down my pre-order for it. And that's about it. That is literally about it. Oh well, let's move over to Ubisoft. And you know what? Ubisoft's conference this year, very nice. Like everyone else, I was really surprised that they were that ballsy with the language. Throwing out F-words, S-words. Everything was just swear heavy. But yet again, the games they were showing off had a lot of strong language, which, okay, fair enough. Fair enough indeed. We go over what Ubisoft showed off. Ubisoft with Far Cry 4. Yep, completely won me over. I'm interested. Revealing Rainbow Six Siege. Hella hyped. I loved Rainbow Six Vegas 1 and 2, and Siege just looks great. If it plays as good as they've shown it, I want it. And I really want it, because I love Rainbow Six games. The rest of the Ubisoft lineup was pretty solid. Like, I really like the look of Valiant Hearts, the game that's being used with the Rayman engine. And you know what? That is looking pretty darn awesome, especially since it's a game based off of the events of World War I, around these characters and their dog. And it's really cool, and I'm looking forward to see how that goes, and I'm probably going to pick that up on the PC at some point, because I know it's currently out there for pre-orders. And after Ubisoft, what do we get? We get Sony, and I can gladly say that, in my personal opinion, Sony had one of the best conferences game-wise. The show was a little bit lacking, and although I did admire the guys coming out talking about 1080p at 60 frames per second, that was literally, to me, that's just what the show felt like. Sony's show just felt like, this game's 1080p, this game's 60 frames per second. We have what you want. It's okay, I don't care about the specs. Show me the games. But when they showed the games, they showed the games. Barely any CGI trailers going on, apart from Destiny. But yet again, I've seen a lot of gameplay for Destiny, and I'm hyped for Destiny as it is. I don't need to see that much more Destiny anymore to get behind it. I've got my pre-order, I've got my beta, and heck, I'm in the alpha. I'm done with Destiny right now because I'm on that car bonnet. That's all I'm saying. But the other games that Sony showed off, I'm pretty hyped for. Overall, Sony just had a very good show. It solidified my purchase of the PS4. I'm happy. And some of the other stuff they showed off as well, like PlayStation TV and how you can get a DualShock 3 controller and plug it into a Sony telly, and then you'll be able to play some games just off your TV. That's pretty sweet. Go Sony, that's actually a really good idea. Go for it. And finally, the kings of gaming. And regardless of how you look at it, they've still got it, and they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Nintendo's digital event was probably the most badass thing I have ever seen out of E3 in recent history. Damn, that intro was amazing. The little bit of the intro at the beginning with the robot chicken things going on, I thought was insane. I did not think for a second they were going to go that far and have a laugh at themselves, but they did, and it was fantastic. The fight with Iwata was absolutely mind-blowing when they were showing off the Mii fighters in Super Smash Bros. That was insanely cool, and everything they showed off was pretty darn amazing. The Amigos, though, which are the little figurines that are going to be tied in with Smash Bros. And other games, don't get me wrong, they're trying to join in with the Skylanders hype, which by all means, Skylanders, Disney Infinity, they're doing well, and it's obvious you get money from it. Just because they're the figurines. People will just collect the figurines, they won't even get them for the game, they'll just get the figures. And you know what? If you put Nintendo characters in that same situation, people are gonna go nuts. And people will want to collect the Marios, the Samuses, the Star Foxes. They want to get all the characters. But I think that's a bit of a double-edged sword, at least for me. There are only a couple of characters that I would get anyway, figurine-wise, if I was to collect them. But I think that's what's mostly going to happen. I doubt a lot of people are going to buy a lot of those figurines for Smash Bros. And other games that are going to be coming out. But yet again, Skylanders sold really well. And heck, everyone's collected a ton of figures for that game. So it's up in the air. Anything is possible. Now, last but not least, something that wasn't conference related, but something that blew my mind and is making me looking forward to QuakeCon later this year. Doom! It's back! It's bigger! It's more badass than ever! And you know what? That teaser trailer when they showed off that, well, one of the boss fights from the original Doom, with the mechanized demon goat guy. I forget what his name is, and apologies that I do not remember. But that just shows they're doing it. They're taking Doom back to its origins. Now, I'm a fan of Doom 3, and I thought Doom 3 was pretty darn kick-ass. But this is looking amazeballs. And if it's anything like Wolfenstein, I'm gonna cash in. And speaking of which, if you Wolfenstein guys are out there and you pre-ordered it, you're already in the beta for Doom. Be happy, because that's gonna be amazing next year. Overall, it's been a fantastic E3, a lot of great games, I'm hyped for a lot of them. My favourite trailer out of the entire show, actually I have two favourites. Number one was Sunset Overdrive, because that trailer was just fun. Blatant, absolute fun. And my second best trailer of the entire show had to be Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain. Beautiful, amazing, and 100% Kojima. I can't ask for anything else. That was amazing. Great show. I'm not going to say if anyone's won at E3 because I still think the term winning at E3 is stupid. But if you want to know my thoughts on that, you can check out the VGU Talks video where I go on about is E3 a fanboy battleground? Which you can find on the VGU Talks playlist here on VGU Gaming. So until next time, guys, I hope you enjoyed my chat about E3 and what I liked about it. But I'm interested in what did you like about E3? Whether certain games will grab your attention? Are you now interested in buying an Xbox One, PS4 or a Wii U? Let me know in the comments section below, since it will be really interesting to hear your opinions. And I'll see you next time for another edition of VGU Talks.